Hello, my name is Kameron Saunders, and I am a choreographer, dancer, and creator, and I'm making a new work for English National Ballet. My introduction to dance was with my mom. She was taking a West African class in St. Louis, which is where I'm from, and she would bring my brother and I, and she would put us in this side playroom as she took her class. And the drumming, which is live, was so loud and intense that I wanted to know what was happening. So I would go and watch my mom take this class, and I was so moved that I kind of just would start running around. And that was kind of my first visual introduction into anything movement. And then my mom put me in a performing arts middle school, and I was dancing there. There was a very pivotal moment when I was in high school that a teacher of mine said that if I wanted to take dance seriously, I would have to train more in these classical art forms. That's when my infatuation with dance creation came about. And then I started to find some of my favorite choreographers, William Forsythe, Crystal Pite, who I'm sharing the bill with, Alonzo King, particularly within the ballet hemisphere. Those were like my North Star for dance generation, because these creators were pushing the boundary of what ballet was, what contemporary was. And I was super, super interested in their perspectives in taking this art form that felt very restrictive, especially on a body like mine, and how they morphed it into something that felt honest and palpable. And so I wanted to follow that. And that's kind of what led me into choreography in a concert dance space. Commercial work is its own. That was its own sort of trajectory that found me much later in my career. I put away my interests in performing until it like grabbed hold of me and was like, you're doing this now. So I've been juggling a commercial entertainment performance career while also navigating a concert dance choreographic career at the same time. So it's been a very colorful experience, one could say. I am extremely inspired by music that is like first for me, especially because I have a background in West African dance, and most cultural dances explore a wide range of polyrhythms. In West African cultures, at any given time, you have to pull out, as you're listening, one of those instruments to dance to while the other ones are also being played. And so that, I think, has cultivated my choreographic approach, because it has to be musical. Because I've had a wide range of training in different styles, I pull from all of those things in an effort to support the narrative. So if the narrative is about something cultural, that may lend itself to my pulling from my dance experiences. If I'm wanting to do something more classically informed, I might pull from my classical background. EMB dancers are extremely, extremely in tune with their bodies, right? They are sensitive to critique and note and how we as a unit are moving. And so I think they're a very beautiful bunch of dancers, the way that they can move their spines, the way that they are inspired by one another. Like if I'm working with one dancer, that will then transform the room. In the beginning, it was quite different for them. I think that we are now learning each other. It's quite this interesting back and forth that has been fun to explore, but I think now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of how we as dancer and choreographer and creator are making the work happen together. Proper Conduct is a work that is inspired by the constant sort of negotiation and renegotiations of human behavior, relationship, personality, and how we as a society decide to reward or punish those behaviors based off of how we identify with them. I hope that audiences are transformed by the spectacle of the work. I want them to be moved by the music. I want them to be moved by the movement. But I also am very interested in this work being hopefully the catalyst that encourages people to look at how they engage with people around them. That sort of relationship negotiation. There is an obligation that comes with being accessible and visible to many eyes, many viewers, many people. And within that accessibility, people have an expectation of how you should navigate life. And my experiences within that, how I am expected to move, how I'm expected to behave, how I'm expected to engage with people, was the catalyst for where the work exists now. My own relationship to visibility. This is the first work I've done that's this length with this many dancers, that's being played live with an orchestra of this size. So it's many, many firsts happening that are both exciting and daunting. I'm on a double bill with one of my largest inspirations choreographically. All of this, as scary and as daunting and as intimidating as it is equally as brilliant and fun. So I just wanted to express my gratitude towards it because I do feel changed in many ways because of this. I have worked with Brandon Finklea and Harold Walker III independently on separate projects. So I called them both and I was like, I need you guys to collaborate. Y'all don't know each other, but let's make it happen. And they were both so on board and they've been working together quite beautifully on this, and I'm very pleased with what they've come up with. Within each act, there are different moments of swell, tension building, release, and I think that all of those shifts within the music, whether that's changes in tempo, whether that's added instruments, any sort of score adjustments, those quite heavily inform how I structure the work, how I shift tone of choreography, of movement texture, the geography of the stage. I think that's heavily influenced by how the music is structured. To young people who are pursuing art in any capacity, the biggest piece of advice I could give is to continue creating regardless of outcome. A very, very good friend of mine in 2019 said to me, you need to post more. You need to share your dancing as much as you do your choreography. And I blindly leapt. I did that. I made that shift in how I was approaching social media, for example. And that led to the pivot into commercial work for me. So that has shaped my approach to art. I want to be in the rooms. And I think that what can happen for young people, especially in classical spaces, right? We want it to be right. It has to be perfect before I share it with people, before I engage with other like-minded artists. I think the biggest thing I could say is to just do without expectation of how it will be received, without expectation of it being good. Produce your art, whether that's writing it, choreographing it, dancing it, playing it on an instrument, talking about it with a friend, just make. And I think that not only is that strengthening your muscle within your craft, but it's also, as you're sharing, you are, whether consciously or unconsciously, cultivating more honest human interaction. And I think both of those things can do nothing but help you as an artist.